Welcome back, everybody. So the difference an hour makes. As y'all could see by that intro, we had some interesting weather come through. So that's why I left the camera up there actually peeking out of the shop door, because it was popping lightning, windy to the point it would have blew the camera over. And then as y'all seen, the rain came. But luckily, we barely, and I mean barely, got everything done that we needed to this morning. So I'm gonna talk to y'all real quick while I'm waiting on the inspector to show up. Okay, so we have made some progress out here. A lot of it. This should look different to everybody. Again, apologize for not being able to record, but the weather said absolutely not this morning. And first and foremost, I've just got to keep plugging away on the house. But I'll kind of fill y'all in on what all we've got going on. So as y'all seen scurrying around in the background on that time lapse this morning, the concrete crew showed up and got done just in the nick of time before rain hit. We were delayed this morning. I had an appointment set up to get this entire slab sprayed, for termites. That is required before we're allowed to put a vapor barrier down. Well, I had an appointment set up for 8 o'clock in the morning. Concrete crew showed up at 6:30, got prepped and ready, waiting on them, waiting. Finally, I called. Where y'all at? Oh, we had to go hit another job. We'll be there in a couple of hours. Meanwhile, I'm looking at the radar, and we've got some nasty weather coming. Said, y'all don't understand. There is an 8-man concrete crew sitting here right now getting paid by their boss to do nothing. They showed up. They held up their end of the bargain. Get me somebody quick, please, because we've got to get sprayed and get this vapor barrier down to protect the bug spray. They finally found somebody about an hour away, got them over here. That person got sprayed, and we got this vapor barrier down literally minutes before the rain started. Now, yes, it's under roof, so a lot of it wouldn't got wet, but all these bugs, a lot of it would have. But it worked out. It absolutely worked out, just barely. Back to what we accomplished this morning. We have got our vapor barrier down. They cleaned up all the footers and got those measured and back to depth, straightened up some of the forming boards, and then they came in with the 6x6 wire that the plans call for and have rebar down in all of the footers. Now, I kind of got hooked up on this job. The guy that I hired is through a friend, and actually I know him too from some get-together stuff we go to. He typically does big commercial jobs, doesn't really fool with houses, but it was kind of a, hey, we'll do it for you, here's a favor. Well, it just so happens he had a lot of leftover really good material from a big commercial job, and he brought it. So I got way more than what the plans called for. For starters, our plans called for 6 mil vapor barrier. Pretty standard stuff. He brought me 15 mil stuff. Now, some of it we had to go back to standard, but he's doubled it in a lot of areas too. So that is over twice as thick as what plans even call for. Awesome. That stuff should really last, and he's got the majority of it out here in the house. That's where I'd want it. The heck with the porch, right? Also, the plans call for 6x6 welded wire, and it's a number 8 wire, which is kind of almost like a fence wire. It's a thin wire. Well, he brought me some of this that he had to overrun from a commercial job. This stuff is probably 3 times as thick as what plans would have called for. So I'm getting some really thick wire in as well. So this should be an unbelievably strong slab. Now, as you can see, he's got the wire propped up on some of these neat little cups. And then as they pour, typically they'll grab the wire with a rake and kind of lift it up into the concrete, because the wire does you no good unless it's suspended into the concrete itself. So what I'm waiting on right now is the inspector to come check. He's got to check my termite spray receipt and little notification that they gave me saying, hey, we did our job. Show this to the inspector. He's got to come check and make sure that all the rebar is to plan, all the wires to plan, and footer depths are also to plan. So if we get the okay from him, we are going to pour in the morning. So 7 a.m. tomorrow, weather permitting, and it looks great. This cold front just come through. No more rain they're calling for. We have got concrete trucks scheduled. So I will meet y'all back, hopefully with a time lapse out here, being that weather should be good. And you can watch us pour that concrete, and then we'll talk to you after the fact on why we did what we did, a few little finishes that we're gonna get done, and where we're heading next with the build. So I'll catch y'all back in the morning. We'll get this concrete poured. So we made some excellent progress today. Very excited with where we're at. Things look completely different now. So check this out. It is really starting to look like a house now, or a pole barn with a slab, whichever way you want to look at it. So I'm still not comfortable to go out there and stand on it. We're going to give it another day, even though the guys were just walking on it, kind of polishing the last of this. But we're gonna wait. They say they're coming back tomorrow to cut the relief joints. So that was kind of unexpected, but nice of them to show up on the weekend to make sure that happens. But here it is. Take a look. They worked very, very hard today. I think it was a 9-man crew total, and they knocked this thing out. So the living area is somewhat polished. They asked me, you know, what type of flooring I was going to put down. And told them, you know, we're probably looking at doing the PVC laminate. Had it in our last house, really liked it. So they didn't have to get the floor to a full polish, but they got it nice and smooth to where the laminate should lay down just fine. And as far as all the porch goes, they did a light broom finish on there, you know, so it's not slippery. So happy to see this. Gauge is still holding, looks like right around 98 psi, so nothing happened to the plumbing during this. That was, yeah, I know, right? That's something I was very nervous about. So here's the porch, and now that it has concrete on it, oh my goodness, does this porch look, does it look big?
It looks great.
Yeah, it looks great, but it looks huge. You don't realize how big a 20 by 40 back porch is until everything's nice and level and you're not looking at dirt and wire and everything else, and you can actually see a transition now to where the house is going to go. Again, we lifted the house up 3.5 inches, so if we ever get water on the porch, we're not flooding out our baseboards or potentially flooding out the house. So very nice touch there. But oh my goodness, this porch is gigantic.
You got to show off our
yeah, so speaking of the porch and what she's talking about, let me give you all a little story for today. So keep in mind, there is 9 rough, burly concrete guys out here doing concrete, doing their job and busting it out. So I knew something was coming. Somebody had asked me to do something, and I've been dreading it and dreading. I've been dreading it for days. So finally, I knew we were at a point that I should ask. So I come walking out to the crew leader, and I said, "Hey, I said, don't laugh at me." He immediately says, "Oh, I know." I said, "You know?" He says, "Yeah, the boss told me." I said, "You mean about our dog?" He goes, "Mm-hmm." I said, "Okay." I said, "Just let me know when." So he finally come back and got me in a little bit, and picture me walking out in front of 9 concrete guys that have been busting their butt all day, holding this little burly dog, prancing out here because I can't get his feet dirty for something special, and they start laughing at me. Well, a few of them did. They're literally laughing at me. So guess what I had to do in front of all these guys with that little dog? I had to come out here, and it's hard to tell.
Oh, yeah.
But we had to do multiple times. We did Bullet's little footprint. I had to carve in here Andrew and Tiffany, A&T, and the year. They even made me a nice little smooth spot to do all this. So yeah, that was really interesting. Needless to say, that dog wanted no part of his foot down there. They had to redo this several times. He kept kicking sand all up on there and just did not want his little paw down there. So we had to redo it several times. Meanwhile, I'm getting laughed at. So that was a real fun day, real fun time right there.
It looks good.
Yes, it does look good. We have Bullet's paw print forever, A&T, in the year the house was built. So you're always going to be a part of this house, buddy. Need to say, he's been up all day and he's exhausted because he didn't get his 23 hours of sleep like he's used to. All right, so I'll walk y'all around real quick, show you the side porch. It looks really good now. Hopefully this camera's picking it all up. Again, holy moly, look at this back porch. We're excited about it. This is honestly, the whole house was built around this back porch. Honestly, it really was. 20 by 40. We're gonna have a full entertaining space. Like I said, there's my hookups to have my outdoor sink. We're gonna build like an L-shaped bar area over there to do all of our food prep and cooking. Let me cut this phone off. So moving over now to the side porch. I like it. A long, straight shot. We can, you know, put some benches and flowers and decorations out there. And I've had people ask, why did we do such a low pitch roof and why did we do the roof like this? Because you can order these trusses right here up to 60 feet wide. So we really could have just did a big 40-foot wide barn without a lean-to and got the same amount of space and just built a porch with these main trusses coming all the way down to here. But the reason why is Tiffany and I have always felt like a house with a low pitch roof that's a long shotgun house, it kind of looks like local chicken houses in the area. It kind of looks like farming and industrial stuff. So we knew purposely that we wanted a lean-to with a break in the roof, just like that barn over there. It gives it a little bit of character, makes it look different. So I thought I'd answer that. The other really big reason that some of y'all may not have triggered on, and the reason I love lean-tos on these barns now, is because you get 50% more post in the ground. You get a higher wind load rating. Well, at least in my mind, you just get more support, more structure. If we were to bring these trusses out here for 40 wide, these posts would come out here and all these would go away. So I love having more posts, more support. I like the break in the roof. It gives it a different pitch, you know, since we don't have no designs or anything special up there. So I thought I'd take the time to answer that, since I've had a couple people ask, why this way? So hopefully that makes sense. So there is still a tremendous amount of work to do. This entire yard is tore up. I mean tore up. Concrete trucks drove everywhere they felt like today. We wound up bringing 6 in for 60 total yards. I know some of y'all are, when y'all hear that, 60 yards of concrete right here. Seriously. Oh, that slab's going nowhere. But the yard is tore all up. That's a problem, because look how green everything is. I've got to start mowing next week. So probably one of the next videos is going to be me hauling whatever dirt I have, digging whatever dirt I have, because it's hard to get filled dirt right now. My guy doesn't have his equipment where it needs to be. I've got to start filling ruts in, because next week I don't want to be bouncing off a zero turn flying around here doing some mowing. So that's some videos that's coming. As far as what's next on the house, contractor's got to come back and finish the metal roof. That may be a week, week and a half. He's tied up on another job right now, but they have come back and nailed down all the underlayment completely. It made it through this last set of storms just fine. Nothing blew up, no water leaks. We're good with that. He'll get here when he can get here. I'm gonna talk with him next week. The other thing I've got to do is price out all the lumber for framing and walls. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Lumber's at record highs right now and going up. And here's the crazy part. Most of the places around here are sold out. So I have to do a lot of, I've got to be strategic. I've got to do a lot of calling around. I'm gonna call multiple cities around me, figure out if I need to go pick up lumber, prices to deliver. I've just got to make a tremendous amount of phone calls and price shop around, because right now things are just, they're just too high. They're ridiculous. Like I said, prices I've never seen. Most everything is tripled. Some of the stuff is quadrupled. It's just, I don't know what to say. You can't hardly justify building a house with all this cost right now, so I've got to do a lot of legwork for that. So as soon as I can get some lumber in, we're raising walls. Videos are about to change. We're going now to me building the house, so there'll be a lot less of that time lapse, more details, more of what's going on, and I will have y'all in the loop on that. Feel free to ask any questions. That's what the comment section's for. Find us on Facebook. You can ask me some questions over there. Otherwise, I'll get them answered in the next video. I can see I've been rambling on almost 9 minutes now, so let me shut up. And he's ready for his nap. And we'll catch y'all on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying the house build. We got a lot of other things coming too.